let me go back one second. Hold that thought. All right, you're watching this porn, right? 8 or 9, but so obviously you're going to start buying it or watching it more as time goes on because you have money and you can access it, right?
Right.
So were there any actors or actresses that you said, hey, those are hot as hell, I love the girls and these guys seem pretty cool?
No, like I didn't have like a one actress or nothing like that, I think back then. I don't think there was like any actress. What's her name?
Heather Hunter?
Huh?
Heather Hunter?
No. Oh. The blonde, she still does she still do porn stuff?
Was she popular from the 80s or the 90s?
80s. What's her name?
Ginger Lynn, Amber Lynn?
No, you shot her before. I just can't remember.
I shot her before?
Nina Hartley?
Oh, Nina Hartley.
Yeah.
Big butt.
Big butt. If I could say anybody, it was Nina Hartley back then, for sure. The 80s, for sure. For me, Nina Hartley probably was my favorite. And in the 90s, I think I didn't watch as much porn because you get into the teenage where you're around girls. You know what I mean? You don't have to watch as much porn because you're getting vagina.
You already got 40 to 60 by 18, so you're busy.
Right. Like,
That's beautiful.
Right. It was more like I'm getting vagina, so.
It's a beautiful thing.
It wasn't like that. It was more before in the 80s, for sure, for me, like, you know.
But those were cool, like, more fun movies, I thought.
To me, those were some of the better movies of all time, were those, you know, for sure.
They seem more, something about them seem like more, like you can't touch them or something. They seem so, like, untouchable.
Like off in the fairyland somewhere, like, I wish I can go, like, you could never go there, you know what I mean?
That's what I grew up on.
Yeah.
But I got in the business in the 80s anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just, it was a beautiful thing to see. The film, I think it was mostly the film, made the look more real or something.
It
something
made it
better.
look more real. It was more better. I was just telling them earlier is that, like, I don't even watch our porn. Like, I watch Asian porn.
Yeah.
Asian porn, like, when I watch the Asian porn, it like,
something different.
It gives you something different. Like, they literally make this movie feel real, not because it feels more Hollywood, but it almost feels like that nature of what you used to watch in the 80s. You know, it feels like that when I watch their stuff. You know, a lot of their movies and how they make it, and they're off in the jungle, and then this and
distracting to bring you into the.
It brings you
scene.
into the scene, like, oh, this looks like real life, like real life in Asia. Like, this feels like this is, you know.
It's really hard to watch porn after you did so much porn.
It's very hard. It's
like
very
almost
difficult. It's
torture.
Like, it is torture. It's like, oh, I don't want to see this shit.
Right.
Oh, guess what? This person, like, you know, I've seen it.
I mean, once in a while you see a girl that, I mean, I would see a girl, oh yeah, she's great, but anyway. But so let's go back to you. So when did you decide and how did you make your way?
So I was in business school downtown Los Angeles, and I met Playgirl. I don't know if you remember her. Playgirl?
Of course.
Let
me tell you something about Playgirl. Playgirl, you know, and I'm a fat vagina type of guy.
Right.
Playgirl, you know, I did her first movie, I'm pretty sure, right? Had one of the fattest, or maybe the fattest ones that ever came in the business.
Without a doubt.
Unbelievable.
But still beautiful fat. Like, not like...
No, I love them fat all the way around. Right. But yes, hers was beautiful, the tone, the shape, everything, and she's pretty, and she's sweet.
Yeah, and she was sweet.
Sweet as hell. Playgirl, what's up? I love you. You're always one of the sweetest.
Yeah.
Always.
What up?
Always. Never whining, never crying, always cool.
Playgirl, you know that I know that you're the reason that I'm even doing porn. So it was her. I was in school with her, okay?
High school?
No, this is a business school that was downtown Los Angeles. And
how old?
What was I, 22?
Okay.
So I'm in this business school. What had happened was, at the same time, I don't know if you remember when the MTA, when they went on that big-ass strike.
Okay, yeah.
They went on that big-ass strike.
Kinda, they did it a few times.
Yeah, they did a few times. This one was pretty big, where we...
You said, what year did you say it was?
This was, I was 22, so...
23? You're saying 03?
When was this? This, when I started, was 03. I'm trying to think if it was, it had to be 03. So in 2003, and we couldn't, like, you couldn't get to school or whatever. So when they finally started back up, the next time I seen her, she had came with her cousin. So me and her cousin started talking, blah, blah, blah. Me and her cousin had never had sex for like at least 2 or 3 months before. Like we were just talking, whatever, chill. I've seen her a few times, blah, 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 go meet up. Never had sex. I finally convinced her. We get a room, all of that, give her some dick.
2003.
This is 2003.
So, okay.
Yeah, this is 2000.
The cousin.
Her cousin, right.
Oh,
I never had sex with Playgirl.
Oh,
Me and her never had sex. We were just friends.
That's terrible.
I know. We never had sex. I never got to. Well, once I fucked her cousin, she wasn't about to give me no dick.
No? But how was the cousin's vagina? Fat?
No, it wasn't fat, but it was marvelous.
Okay.
And a fat ass booty, like marvelous vagina at the time, right? And so.
It's crazy because some girls' texture, walls, and heat
everything.
Is so much different than somebody else. It's crazy.
And I've seen so many vaginas that look all like the pretty perfect vagina to most guys, but they would think it's a, and then you'd be like, what the fuck is this? Hello. I mean, they went. And
that happens to you, man. Think about the other guys.
That's what I'd be feeling bad about. I'm like, wait a second. My dick just went in here. That's not good, girl. That's not good at all. And she's like, what's wrong? No, this is exactly what's wrong with it. You know, it's your vagina. It's not you. It's just your vagina. Her cousin was like, no, and she finally gave it to me. And
she didn't give it up too much because obviously it was marvelous.
I only had it one time. She never gave me any more after I fucked her once.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know if she was nervous to go further or what. I swear to you. So all I know is she told her cousin that I had a big ass dick, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't know Playgirl did porn yet. She had never told me while we were in school.
I worked with her in 2003. I think I did her first scene.
Probably so, I think, in that time. And she never told me that she was doing porn. She finally tells me, blah, 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 and she gives me 3 numbers, okay? She gave me 3 numbers. She gave me West Coast Production. She gave me TTBoys, TTs. And then she gave me, I'm pretty sure it was Big Man. I don't know if you remember him back then.
Maybe I heard of him.
Yeah, Big Man. He shot a lot of the ghetto black girls too back then. And he shot him in the hotel. He was the one shooting like out in Crystal Park and, like the ghetto hotels and stuff. But yeah, he was shooting back then. And she gave me Stefan as well, yeah. So she gave me those and only called one. I didn't know of any, which one to call. And I only happened to call one. I called West Coast Production when I first called, and Terry Burton was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Well, she gave you my number, then let me try you out." So he was like, "If you come out tomorrow, after you get out of school, come out tomorrow, and I'll shoot you in a blowjob to see if you can stay your dick hard or whatever." So I was like, "Okay, cool. I'll come out." I came out. Not knowing what I'm really getting myself into. Like, I was not really prepared for, any of it.
Supposed to be just a blowjob.
It's supposed to be just a blowjob.
Just you and
just me and the girl. And this was at the main porn house back then that everybody used to use on, what is it? Not Devonshire. Is that Nordhoff? The one that's all the way at the top of the hill on Nordhoff? That we used to use it too.
I think it's Devonshire.
It's Devonshire, right? That own little
towards Chatsworth.
Yeah, towards Chatsworth, and its own little private. You could see yourself going up and down the hill. Yeah, so that one. So I go there and I get there and Terry is like fucking. There's three girls there. Terry ends up fucking one of them in the bathroom. He's fucking. Mr. Marcus was supposed to shoot a scene with the 2 girls before I do the BJ. So Mr. Marcus is already there. Mr. Marcus was like, "Oh man, I'm not waiting on this shit." And he gets in his car and you can literally see him going down the hill. You know how you can see it right from the house going down that hill. And then Terry comes out, he's like, "Where's Marcus going?" I'm like, "I don't know." He just said he had to go. And he kept calling him. He was like, "Nope." And the next thing you know, Terry was like, "Okay, so change your plans. I'm going to need you to do, both of these girls are going to do them, fuck them in the scene. No Viagra. No, none of that. Terry will tell you, no nothing. I have no idea what, Viagra or any of that shit was." And for about an hour and a half, me and these 2 girls are fucking. I can't remember the thick one's name. The other one ended up kind of being the girlfriend a little bit. Her name was Peaches back then. I don't know if you remember her. She was only in real short time. 2003 Peaches.
What'd she look like?
Sexy as fuck. Oh.
Yeah?
Oh my God.
What color?
Easily, if she was in the industry today, I don't know if you remember Peaches.
There's a few Peaches.
Yeah.
She was brown skin?
Light brown skin.
Yeah, I remember.
Light brown skin, nice, perfect bubble butt.
I think I remember. I think so.
I think so. I'm pretty sure she shot for you. And
she was great.
She was fucking great. She was awesome.
So
one of the prettiest pussies also in the world ever, for sure. And I fucked the shit out of them. And then Terry was like, okay, cool. And then
so 2 girls, you did good.
2 girls did good. My first threesome ever in my life. Knocked me down. You were
excited?
I was excited. Horny as fuck. Boom, boom. So 2 days later, West Coast calls me down to come and sign a contract with them. And it was a nice contract. And so, you know, I did.
Wow, that's crazy. Right. Boom like that quick.
Boom like that. But the part of what people don't understand is, you know, when you come in and somebody just gives you everything like that, you have to live up to what they think that you're going to be right then. Not later, right then. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's different right then because, I mean, I wasn't ready to be on sets where there's 20 people staring at you, naked guy, and dick hanging out, and you know what I mean? Like, I didn't get down like that. It wasn't, you know, there was a lot of things like, and I went to Europe in 2 months. I was in Europe from being in the industry. I was in Europe in 2 months. First trip to Europe. And, you know, we're in a dungeon, and, you know, I'm seeing all type of stuff I had never seen before. So at this time, it was a lot. You know, it was a lot for me. So I think that first year, it was good. Like, I had really good scenes, and I had okay scenes, and I had bad scenes where I, you know, it was, you know, good, okay, and bad, just from comfortability wise.
So sometimes you would fail?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. For sure. Your first year, it's very difficult to be the man and it all go great and perfect, especially then because it wasn't like people were just, you know, pop Viagra, you know, like 2, 3, you know. I didn't seen some people with, like when we shot in Brazil, remember we used to shoot in Brazil, like some of the guys we used, and like they would literally be taking like 3 Viagras. I'm like, dude, you just took 3
full Viagras?
Full Viagras. I'm like, dude, you guys are crazy. You guys are fucking crazy.
Well, for the orgy, they might need it,
for
huh?
the orgy, right? And then they're just, your head is going to do like this the whole time. It's like, dude.
Really?
I mean, I'm sure.
I mean,
one Viagra would fucking ruin your brain. So 3, I'm just sure, just like, just pounding, you know?
Wow, really?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I never really took it. So.
I know you were one that probably needed.
I wasn't around my time.
No.
So if you can't make it in my time.
No.
You're out.
No, that's just what it was. This wasn't for you. But I guess this was what they, you know, because of the drugs and the parties and all of that, Viagra started coming in.
Well, it came in 2000, but anyway, so back, yeah, right. Yeah. It's there when you're there, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're in Europe, and you don't like it?
At that time, I don't think I was open to everything. You know what I mean? How when you're younger, you're not open to seeing certain shit. Like, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And, you know, like, and then come to find out this dungeon was a gay dungeon. You know, when we're not shooting in it and renting it for this shoot, this is normally a gay dungeon. And so I'm shooting this scene, and they're just allowing, like, some of the guys that normally come, and they're just walking by and watching while I'm fucking. And so, you know, there was just things that...
2 months in the business, man.
2 months in the business, and, you know, you're not even used to being naked around people type shit.
I know that. I wasn't.
Yeah, you're not even used to, like, my clothes off. Like, okay, is everybody going to get out, and is it just going to be me and the girl, or what? No.
You're modest.
This guy's going to hold this guy... So it was a lot at first. So it took me like a year. And then the next year, I met TTBoy.
Yeah?
Yeah, the next year I met TTBoy.
I mean, I kind of remember something that you were not feeling that contract or something, and maybe you had disembarked from it.
Yeah, well, there was a few things that happened where I wasn't feeling the contract, and I wasn't feeling the person that was shooting at the time, which was, you know, I love Terry, but my love for Terry is offset. Business-wise, on set, it was just like not my cup of tea. You know,
ruthless.
Just like ruthless things that somebody does where it's like, dude, you're not caring about anything, how I feel on this, and it's like, this is ruthless. This is like one of those things where it's like, okay, I can't work for you. You know what I mean? I can't keep working for you and being in the path. But friendship wise, off of shooting was great.
You seem cool.
Cool. I can deal. I understand, but I just not the person that likes to be played and feel like I'm not that person. I can't keep sitting around and feeling like the dumbass, and no, that's just not gonna work. So
would you say that you were on your way away from the business when we met you?
Easily away from it. I think when I met you, I was hanging with that guy Xander. I don't know if you remember Xander. I remember. I was hanging with Xander for about a cool month at his house. And I mean, if you know Xander back then, a cool month at Xander's house, you can lose some pounds.
Party?
Oh, the parties.
The drugs, you're saying.
The drugs, the parties, like, you can easily, at that time, definitely, fuck yeah, you could just end up losing some pounds of just not, the regular stuff you're supposed to do. And so.
So what's the drugs over there? Which ones? Let me tell you something about some interviews.
Some is the coke. Some was the coke. For some is the crystal. Some is the heroin. And all
heroin. Heavy.
That one I can't. I can't do. I done tried a little.
You tried it too. It's shit. I hate it.
Yeah, I none of that is my cup of tea. And honestly, even now, none of those drugs are my cup of tea as far as like doing them anymore.
But you were doing some of them.
Oh, I tried it all, but I've never done, I didn't even start doing that until I was like 24 when I tried cocaine, tried, sniffing crystal, all that. Like, that was like 24, and I never tried it before that. And I've never been addicted to it. I've never went and bought my own bags of it. That's how much it wasn't a part of me. You know what I mean? I never let me go get me a bag. I've never done that. I used to sell it. Huh? No, I used to sell cocaine. I used to sell crystal, and I never was like, oh, I need it. I mean, now ecstasy, when it comes like that, which you don't know if it's heroin,
mixed
crystal
up with
or cocaine, you don't know which pill it is, anyways. But you'll know, once you know, I don't mind an ecstasy pill with my girl, and let's go to a club twice a year, 3 times a year. Yeah, we'll do that still. Take a half a pill and
roll, they call it.
Roll hard and go enjoy ourselves in the club, and that shit is pretty fun. You know, with your girl, that shit is the best.
What do you think of, we don't want to wander too far away, but real quick, what do you think of drugs and sex?
It's the best.
let me the best, right?
Ecstasy, some alcohol, and your girl, a girl you're comfortable with.
Girl you like.
A girl you like. It should never just be when it's just any kind of girl, it's not the same feeling. But a girl you like, man, you're gonna spend probably the next 24 hours fucking stopping drugs, drinking, fucking stopping drugs, drinking. It's gonna be 24 hours of greatness. And then you crash.
For a couple days?
Crash for a couple days. Fuck you. Fuck everybody.
No phone, nothing. So, there was a famous porno star, director. Mm-hmm. You probably heard of him. His name was Paul Thomas. He's still alive. Mm-hmm. Did you ever work for him?
No.
Okay.
I don't think I worked for Paul.
So, PT, they used to call him. He was on the show, right? I used to work for him. But he was from the 70s and 80s and all the way through, right? 40-something years. He said, why have sex unless you're on drugs?
This is the truth, man. I don't know, those people that have only had sex not high or not fucked up, I'm sorry. I don't think you've ever experienced anything like this. The girls have never experienced anything like it because you're going to be an animal. You're an animal for sure,
See, some people don't want to admit to it, but the facts are the facts.
Listen, people don't want to admit to it, but everybody has done their drugs. Some people are alcoholics, and yours is still a drug, okay? If you use alcohol to feel like, oh, you're gonna fucking do the best fuck you ever done, that's alcohol. Some people is crystals, some people is coke, some people is this, some people is that. Okay, it's fine. Stop being judgmental and just fucking try it, because it's gonna be the best sex of your life.
Right? It's just, sex is to be enjoyed.
It is.
And you know what else sex is? Sex is not to be regretted.
No.
You know what I mean? No. I think that you want to have fun. If you do drugs, embrace it. Embrace the good time. Right. When you're younger, I think you do drugs and you say, oh man, I wish I would have did that, right? But then you had a fun time usually, right?
Right.
So embrace it. Don't feel the peer pressure or the guilt, because why should you feel guilty if you had a good time?
Right.
I think.
That's the truth.
But
I think you should never feel guilty on that. Yeah. I mean, if you're doing it and gonna feel guilty, don't do it. If you're doing it, enjoy it.
It's beautiful, huh?
Live your one life, enjoy it a little bit, and live your one life a little bit.
So for sure, the best sex you ever had was on drugs.
For sure, on ecstasy, for sure.
More of a connection.
It was fuck a connection. It was like everywhere, like all over everywhere, like okay, break. Okay, water. Back to it.
Water.
You have more of a freedom when you were on ecstasy to just okay, like I'm just gonna eat the shit out of your ass, and you know what I mean. One of those things where where when you're not high, you're like, I ain't doing that shit. I'm not doing that shit. You know what I mean? Like
especially now.
Right, especially now.
And here's the other problem: is that when you go to Pinocchio's Dreamland or whatever you want to call it, there's a PT said. He said, I've said it numerous times on the show. I just always like to bring it up. Is that how can you go back to normality now? It's difficult.
It's very difficult because you've seen the other side.
Right, and you've been tainted, but anyways. So how you going back to just spending 20 minutes, okay, It's
difficult.
Anyways, so let's go back. So you're pretty much done. You're thinking at Xander's house, you're depressed. I'm going to put my mindset there. I'm thinking you're depressed, you're like, you got pissed off.
This is not what I thought, what I wanted, and then, a little pissed off and
disillusioned.
Exactly.
Maybe,
thinking that everybody's the same, you know what I mean? Like this industry's the same, you know what I mean? Like to grab you to use you, but then like don't really want you if they don't, it's like, then spit you out kind of thing. And so for sure, it's all out for the next fish. And it's like one of those things where the trust of what are you're gonna work for another company like this is what you're gonna do, you know what I mean? So I definitely did lose that. And I think that's why I never gave them as much love back, to West Coast because of this. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I was young. I was 22. If you would have put any type of real time, real deal, real care at what they were able to have right there for me in front of me at that point, we probably would have been doing business for a long time together. But you did it. You was like,
Mm-hmm. No love, no respect.
No love, no respect. No check on, hey, none of that shit.
Yeah, people probably 90%, probably like 99% of business today, you know what I mean? But 90% of the people back then, or 80%, they don't know the psychology of being a performer.
Not even a little bit.
And, it's complicated.
It's a complicated thing, especially when people are trying to make you feel like you're beneath them or below what their standards. It's when you. I'm not a dumb person. I'm a smart person. Michael Jordan wasn't Michael Jordan when he came into the NBA. Michael Jordan created himself to be Michael Jordan. He started doing the right things and steps. LeBron James. He was good, but he's not the great player that he is now. Yeah. And it's from experience. Mm-hmm. And some people are willing to put in the time with you and show you that, or put the right things in front of you so that you can grow and that you can see how to do it, and boom, boom, boom. And some people just want to throw you out there and as soon as they don't feel like it's, you're there, up, he's not the one. So, I mean, that was the thing with them. And then now, they're also not too big as well either now.
So then you met TTBoy?
Met TTBoy. I think, I'm trying to think, it was for an orgy. I'm trying to think of which one it was.
Must have been a brown and round, maybe?
Yeah, it was an early brown and round. Darren James thing. The Darren James thing had just happened not too long before.
About 8 or 10 months?
Yeah, 8 or 10 months.
Maybe a year, maybe.
I don't even know if it was a year yet.
Okay.
Because he was shooting camera for you still at the time, right? Wasn't he shooting for you?
Yeah, directing.
Directing. And then that was him that was directing that day. Mm-hmm. But Mark had got him to shoot me with that. And then what's the other guy?
So you met Mark first or Darren first?
I met both of them that day on set at the same time first.
Oh, okay.
When I got to set that day. But it was through Xander that got it and whatever. And it was because of the other guy that you had signed that was Max. And I guess, you know, he had flipped out or something that happened before or something like that. I'm not sure what happened on set or something. They were saying,
Mark,
I think it was something like that. So Mark was, you know, looking for another guy or whatever. And so I shot that. And it was almost like one of those things where you know this is home. Even from that first orgy, because I had watched all your, you know, stuff before that. Yeah. I was already a Black Street Hookers fan, you know what I mean? Like, I was already on that. I loved it. That was probably my favorite line then.
Black Street?
For sure.
I love this.
For sure. In 2004, 2005, that was definitely easily my favorite line. Like, I actually watched that line because it felt the most real. And I was like, he's really out here picking up fucking girls. Like, you know, it's one of those things where you can tell is. And then you just kept going with that shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was my first series, 96.
Yeah. Kept going with that shit. And that shit was my favorite, for sure.
Yeah, that's cool.
That was with Jake Steve, right?
Well, I mean, he was in it, a lot of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was in a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I mean, we were good friends. But yeah, so you got to Evasive Angles, and I told... Well, you know, I know the psychology of being a performer, the pressure. So I know I said something to everybody, you know. Don't put no pressure. I think Darren told me that you weren't happy at West Coast or something.
At all.
That the people they don't know how to treat a performer.
Right.
I'm a performer.
Right.
So I said, make sure you don't, you know, there's ways.
There's ways of doing it.
Of helping a performer get through a scene.
Easily.
You know, and so I know I said something, so I'm happy.
Right.
That you
easily became the most comfortable place to shoot at ever was at your office. I mean, easily was the most comfortable. People couldn't wait to get to a TTBoy shoot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how it was then. It wasn't like, oh, it's work. I got to work for TT. Nah, like, we work for TT, you know what I mean? We're about to do this scene or we're going to go here. I mean, we went to the snow.
Big butt.
Oh, fuck.
Snow, big butt road trips.
Dude, those were, like, the good times. When we look back, those are the good times. Those are all of them. Those are all of the good times. And as soon as you left, I knew what was going to happen already, you know? It was going to go away. All the black on black was going to leave. Just, like, vanish, like, because there's nobody to make competition. TTBoy at this time was forcing other companies to shoot stuff they didn't want to shoot. Big girls, black on black. You were forcing people to shoot stuff they didn't want to shoot because you were shooting so much of it. Yeah. There's no competition if they're not. Well, now we got to be competition. We got to put it out. You know, we got to try to book these big girls. And I mean, you were doing everything, big titty girls and this girls and big butt girls that other people would never have shot. You were shooting them. I
invented the mothers and daughters. And nobody really understands that. But the truth is that I was an actor in a business, right, in the late 80s and the early 90s. And there was hardly any black females, actresses.
Yeah.
So once somebody came up to me and said, you can make movies. And I said, how about black girls? Right? Mm-hmm. I said, yeah. So then I decided to start directing and owning product. But I really am part of the reason black porno
for sure
came alive. And people don't know that, but for not sure. West Coast.
I don't know.
West Coast wasn't alive.
No, not even at all.
This is 1996. And Jake also, had a beautiful, free codes and flows, but 1996, I put that thing. And so you're saying when I left, it kind of fizzled away.
It's gone. There is no more. I mean, there's the private ones. There's people that are shooting their websites, their own little websites. But as far as companies, I haven't shot one-on-one with a black girl in at least 2 years. At least 2 years. Minimum, if not more.
You think that's terrible?
I think it's terrible. Don't get me wrong. Love shooting, what you guys call IR or whatever IR is supposed to be. I love shooting it, and I love all girls. Number one, I don't look at race. I'm a vagina person. The girl has a vagina, so she's a girl. I don't care if she's black, white, orange, purple, red. I don't have what made me great right now is that I was with somebody like TT who literally put like some of the finest girls in front of you, some of the biggest girls in front of you, you know what I mean? Some of the fattest butts in front of you. Like, you had to fuck everything. And that's what makes you a porn star, is you're capable of fucking all of these. Not that you get the prettiest girl in the world right now on Instagram and this is who you get to fuck, and no wonder why you feel like it's going to be a great scene. Like, that's so easy.
Sometimes I think, well, no, really, truly, sometimes I think I've had more fun with the medium level girls.
Easily.
Because sometimes the pretty girls, you don't always connect with them.
No.
They got something wrong with their heads.
There's something wrong with their heads, or they're so overgone with their name, and especially now with all the followers. Like, oh, how many followers do you got? Like, that's one of those things that I guess is now like so important. I didn't grow up in a followers time, so I don't, that's not my nature of life is, oh, you have 125,000 followers, you're almost a million. Like, that's these girls. And so sometimes they get so caught up in this, who they think everybody else thinks are. I'm so beautiful because all these guys wake up and tell me I'm beautiful. Yeah, but that same guy probably woke up and told 200,000 other women that same thing on Instagram. Come on now.
So you see that going on right now?
Right now. Like, and then you get the girl and she has a terrible attitude when you show up. And I don't kiss ass. I'm not kissing your ass. Like, you remember the time me and the one girl got in a fight at the office, and I was like, I don't want to shoot this girl. And I don't think you were there yet, but you were talking to Jacob like, hey, Charlie's not going to shoot.
Oh, I can't remember.
And it ended up being one of my favorite scenes. I can't remember the girl's name. We were cussing each other out, fuck you, blah, 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 this and that. It ended up being one of my favorite scenes because I fucked the shit out of her. She came, I came, and without, jacking off, it was great. But it doesn't happen often. Most of the time it's like, you get an argument now on set with the girl and I don't want to shoot with him, so it's canceled. They cancel you. You know what I mean? So,
that's not good.
Yeah, no, of course not.
So we had a lot of good times. We went to Brazil, right? This is your first time in Brazil with us, of course.
First time in Brazil was with you, and it became like a second home.
Yeah, we went there a lot, huh?
We went there a lot, and the girls loved us there.
And we went to Asia, right?
In Asia.
Did you go to Thailand and the Philippines with us?
I went to the Thailand, not the Philippines.
Oh.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I didn't go to the Philippines with you.
No?
Mm-mm.
All right.
You guys went to the Philippines?
Yeah.
Oh, motherfucker.
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know.
Shawn Michaels had Shawn Michaels in here the other day, and he didn't make either the Asia trips or Brazil.
What's going on with him? He's okay?
He's good. Yeah, he's good. But I was thinking, damn, why didn't Shawn Michaels come with us? He's a good performer.
Yeah, no, he never did come with us.
I had these other guys. I don't really understand why. Anyways, but I let Mark do a lot of producing. But
yes, we didn't shoot a lot with Shawn Michaels then. Oh yeah, we didn't shoot a lot with Shawn Michaels at all then.
Yeah, too bad.
But I think he was, you know how you kind of get in your individual thing when you're just doing your own thing, and once you get so far.
Yeah, but Shawn Michaels was my boy from the 80s. But anyways, so which trips? What place do you like the best?
My favorite place is still Brazil, but just not now. Like now, Brazil is different a little bit.
You were there lately?
Yeah, I was there last year, October, and
who'd you go there with?
With me, Luis, and Chris Diamond.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Me, Luis, Chris Diamond. We shot our own stuff for Legal Porno. Yeah, we shot our own stuff, and it was fun, and it was beautiful fucking women. Oh my god.
You go to Rio?
We went to Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo. You like that? I thought Rio was nicer.
Rio's nicer as far as the beach and all that. Sao Paulo is probably nicer as far as like still feeling more like a big city, and that you're able to go around in Sao Paulo way more than you can. Rio is very dangerous more. As far Rio's much more dangerous than Sao Paulo.
Yeah, wild side, right?
Wild side.
Rio's
like, oh, you got about 4 or 5 of these streets from the beach until about 4 or 5 streets after, and then everything else in Rio is like, good luck, you know? Don't be caught in the wrong place. I mean, remember the one we had to rent a cop on one of those?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Remember
all South America is dangerous.
All South America. And then they tried to rob us for money when we first got there. Remember the police came in with the M16s pointed at us and shit?
It's always something.
Always something. But I still love Brazil.
Yeah, Brazil.
It's great.
Brazil, I mean, the women, yeah, they're great.
The women's great. The price of everything is like, oh, you're making money just by going there. You made money, you know?
South America's great. Yeah. Well, we shot all over South America, but always went to Brazil.
Yeah, Brazil was always at the top of the list.
Remember Theo Franco Roccaforte?
Always.
He's great, right?
I wonder what he's doing now.
I talked to him. I saw him in Spain the other day.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, Theo?
Yeah.
Who? Theo or Teo?
Same. Theo. Franco Roccaforte.
The big guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just seen him.
You did?
Yeah, he was just shooting with us.
Oh, and...
in Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. He's so crazy.
Yeah, he's great.
He's so crazy.
But, all right, so...
He's so funny on set, man.
No, he's funny as hell,
Funny as fucking hell, man.
He's almost 60. Unbelievable. Shawn Michaels is 61.
His son, you seen the son, Teo's son? Oh, man.
Good performer?
I haven't got to shoot with him, but they told me he did all right when he was there.
Nice guy? Nice kid?
Nice kid. You know, a respectful kid.
Yeah, Theo's the best.
Yeah, Theo's, you know, he's a real father.
So what female co-stars do you like and why? What are your favorite girls? You told me earlier that you loved Roxy.
I loved Roxy.
Chanel.
My favorite of all time, Mercedes is probably my favorite I've ever had sex with.
Yeah, Mercedes?
Mercedes.
This is my time?
The Puerto Rican Mercedes. Isn't she Puerto Rican with the big butt?
I can't remember, man.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
She worked for me?
She worked for you. I shot her for you a few times.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, my God. My favorite. If I could have had her every day, every night at that time, for sure.
Mercedes, man. I can't believe. Huh. Well, she look Puerto Rican?
Yeah, she's like, oh, I'm going to find her for you. Yeah, she's for sure.
I might have fucked her. I don't even know.
I'm sure you probably fucked her. But she had the best vagina I've ever had.
Really?
Best.
Wow. That's a big statement.
That was the best vagina I'd ever had. Ever.
Monet Divine. What'd you think of hers?
I love Monet.
She has some good stuff. Diamond. Remember that girl Ron Ellis had? Diamond?
Diamond. I remember Diamond too.
It was sure. Bomb, right?
Bomb. Fire. Delicious, yes.
She was lovely.
There was quite a few. There was.
Who else?
There was good vagina then, though.
Was it? It's not as good anymore?
I don't think so. I think it's overexposed or something, or dildos are getting too big and you're stuffing anything in your vagina maybe. And
no, really?
I think just, I mean, from what I see now is like vaginas, a lot of them are not the same.
But you know what it might be? It might be the psychology. Because it activates the juices and the heat. And so the social media, the phone, the psychology of the brain getting twisted up is hurting real sex, possibly.
Definitely.
Yeah, you think so?
I think it all has to do with each other. I think girls are so much more open sexually wise now than they were before. Like where they're just as open as guys are, or they play with themselves just as much, or they watch porn just as much as guys now. Before was a time when it was like, especially during DVDs and VHS, girls wouldn't be brave enough to, really walk in porn stores to go buy that shit. And now it's everywhere. And so girls are seeing it as much now. Like you're getting just as many girls fans as guys that are gay fans, So
it's a different world.
Just a different world now.
So how about Little Baby? You ever hit that?
Nope. Never got the pleasure.
I don't know if I help
nope.
Stop that.
Not even gave me a little bit. I know her vagina had to be wonderful.
Unbelievable.
I know it had to be wonderful.
What about
It's only wonderful if somebody tries to lock it down. If somebody tries to lock it down, there's something good going on in that vagina.
I was locking it down a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
But she's hard to lock down.
She's hard to lock down. She's a lot. I think she might have wanted some dick at the point.
Yeah?
Yeah, but I never went and did it.
She gave you some actions? No?
She didn't give me some action. I just think she wanted to try it out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I could
Maybe,
tell.
huh?
Yeah, I think so, for sure.
Probably. What about...
TT would kill me, though. I was like, yep, and he'll kill me, so let's just...
Oh, she said that?
Yeah, fuck yeah. I was like, fuck no. I was like, no.
Well, you got that one girl I was messing around with a little bit. What's her name?
Sashima.
Sashima, right? She was cool. She had some good stuff.
Very good stuff. It's very, like, you know how somebody has the right odor and the right smell?
Oh, she had the beautiful, remember?
Yeah, right odor, right
the
smell.
The fragrance was perfect.
The fragrance, the stickiness, the wetness.
Exactly.
And, like, one of the better vaginas of all time as well.
Yeah, she's great. She was something sexy about
Nicole Richie, yeah.
But to me, it seemed like she might have been a little headstrong here and there.
For sure.
Right? Like it had to be her way sometimes.
For sure.
That stuff makes me crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Can you deal with that type of mentality?
I got one now.
Oh, yeah?
Like, yeah, but I'm just one of those people where, dick runs is not pussy. So, I think that's where we bump heads because I'm not going to listen to that shit. I love women, but it's hard for me to listen to that shit. It is.
I'm not that one.
Yeah, I'm not good with it. Like, I'll cuss your ass out real quick.
I think that's one of the reasons little baby thinks I'm that one.
Yeah, no, I'm not that one.
I'm not that one?
No.
I could give a fuck.
I can give two fucks. Like,
I've already been there, done that.
Been there, done that. I still tell my girl now, I'm like, man, you reminded me of everybody else before. Please stop. Like, don't be that girl from before. That, like, they didn't work out and you won't either, no matter how much love and all of that shit. I mean, nobody has to deal with any of that shit.
That's not healthy.
It's not healthy. Nobody has to deal with it.
Don't mean shit.
It don't mean shit. Just because love you, I love you enough to let you go. It's always been my number one rule. I love you so much that I can let you go.
Don't let it interfere with your spirit.
Nope. I got to be a happy person and calm and peaceful, because if all my stress is home and with because of a girl, like, I'm not going to be a peaceful and calm person. I'm going to be the opposite.
Frazzled, won't make good decisions. Mm-mm. For anybody out there that's got a women problem, girl problem, hey, if it's not working, and it hasn't been working for a little while, 99% of the time, when you try to make it better, it's just going to revert back to where it started.
It might stop for a couple of months, a week, a year.
It's going to go back.
And next thing you know, it goes right back.
So just, you know what? If you can't get along with somebody, the same shit, be the stronger one. And save yourself. Move on.
Move on. Let it go.
Let somebody else have it.
Yep. And it's okay.
There's more.
There's more. And I think that's the whole point. Like, everybody wants to feel like, oh, you'll never have another me, or I'll never have it. Man, listen, fuck all of that shit.
Doesn't matter if they can't get one that good because it's not worth the headache.
It's not worth it. It's not worth your headache. You guys aren't even able to get along. It's not worth your headache.
Yep.
Let it go.
Yeah. Later. That's what I say. So once you get going pretty good at Evasive Angles, I mean, you're working a lot, making good money.
Great money.
Having a great time.
Shooting constantly.
Spiritually, it's invigorating. It's not draining your spirit.
Not at all.
Right?
Not at all.
So you're the main guy. I think you're probably much the main guy at Evasive Angles.
For sure.
I think so, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And I make sure you're in every single thing.
Everything.
For sure. And even the parodies, of course, try and make it right.
As many as possible, for sure.
Do the other actors start hating on you?
Of course. Of course. But I could say I handled it pretty well, because I'm not a bragger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not a boaster. I don't boast and I don't brag. And so I think I handled it pretty well. So when they can say something behind your back like that and think like, oh, you're TT's boy and blah, 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 you get everything. Yeah, but I work hard to be there. You know what I mean? He's not using me because, oh, just give it to him. No, I work hard and I show up and I come in to do my job. And most of the time, it's not a failure. You know what I mean? I'm here because I know what my job is. And even nights when I probably went out and clubbed and slept 3 or 4 hours, I would be at work the next day. You know, it's a mentality, and it's not like, well, what kind of scene? Oh, what girl? I don't really feel like she. It was never that. You know, it's never that. Like, I've shot with some of the ugliest things probably moving. For sure, and definitely some of the prettiest too. So,
emotionally and physically.
Emotionally and physically, the ugliest things moving on Earth. Some stuff that nobody would probably hit, and somehow
they'd hit it, but they'd be
hit it, but it'd be hit.
Some of them, right? We don't want to say anything about it. I understand what you're saying. Probably. Well, sometimes a girl's cute looking, but then when you get to know her, man, she's ugly as hell.
Ugly as fuck.
Yeah.
The pretty ones, oh man, that'd be the worst ones sometimes. The really pretty ones have been always my worst ones because you thought so highly of them before on some of their scenes before. And you're like, oh, I can't wait to fuck her, blah, blah, blah. And then you get her and you're like, she's fucking whack.
Something's not right.
Something's not right.
The setting's not right. Her attitude's not right.
No.
You don't feel good that day. It's a weird balance.
Weird balance. But then when there's some girls that are like average looking girls, it's like your horniest times, and you know, like, she just wants to be fucked and she wants the sex, and it's not about her fame and who she is and all. It's none of that. It's just like, oh, I want some great sex, and I've watched you, and you know, and you like me, you know how, man. So some of that's been the greatest sex ever.
So did girls start coming up to you, female fans? After working, because Evasive Angles really put you on a lot. Right. So they started coming up to you, hey, Charlie, Mac, we seen you.
Oh my gosh.
We want that big monster.
Yeah, I've gotten so much pussy from after being on scenes with Evasive Angles. That's when I got all my pussy in the industry.
Really?
Constantly. So much pussy. And my...
We're talking like rooms full of it.
Rooms full of pussy.
Hotels full of it.
Like parties and rooms and hotels and... nights and days to where, like, there was days I didn't go home. I had a girlfriend at the time, but it was like, man, I'm just doing me, and it was like, fuck, I'm fucking still high from fucking 2 days ago. Like, what the fuck? But yeah,
that was beautiful.
It was a beautiful thing back then. You know.
So how about when you're walking the streets? The girls come up to you, female girls, and say, hey. Yeah?
I get it all the time.
Let me try
especially in Vegas.
The girls say,
well, you know, the girls, like, you know, want to flirt with you. And I'm like, you know, like, there's porn stars like Rico that are more like outgoing as far as, like, you know, flashy, outgoing, and they want that attention. I'm more like, I don't want the attention, I just want the money. So when, you know, girls come, especially now, like, I'm in this is a serious relationship I've probably ever been in a long time.
You say you're married?
Yeah, we're married, just
without the paper.
Just without the paper. We've been together 7 years, living together, and
holy shit.
Yeah, so I mean, it's everything without the papers, but it also comes with the good and bad of being in a relationship, especially with somebody that doesn't do this work.
Oh yeah.
You know, it can be very stressful. It's good times, bad times, but never understanding of what your job is. They always think that it's something else. You know, they don't think it's a job.
7 years of juggling a serious relationship is a serious deal.
Serious deal.
Yeah, because I've been there. Not that long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I've kind of been there, and it's hell, jealousy.
Jealousy. All the
can
time.
You blame them?
You can't blame them, but you also can wonder why. I've warned you before you got with me. I did tell you before you actually committed to this. You've asked other people before. They try to tell you, you know, like Jim Camp and a couple other people, like, they've tried to tell you, like, hey, you know what you're getting yourself into being with somebody, like, they do porn, you know. They're not going to not be having sex with other women. You know what I mean? You sure you're going to, of course I want this and I can handle it. Hey, it's the truth. Like, I'm going to treat you like you're my only girlfriend, but still when I do scenes, I can't be thinking about you during the scene. I can't be thinking about you're going to get mad because I kissed this girl on scene or I ate her vagina. The problem is that girls, especially nowadays, and it's so, you know, it's not like it used to be where the DVD comes out 4 months later, blah, blah, blah. It's not like that no more. Now it's that 40 seconds after the scene's over, they're posting the clips up on Twitter from this scene and it's coming soon and this and that. By the time I get on the freeway, my girl's cussing me out and talking shit. You know, it's like, man, maybe we'll never understand. Maybe nobody can ever understand. They say they can handle it, but can they really?
No, it's not. I mean, it's hard to make it healthy.
It's hard to make it healthy.
Yeah. It's just,
are you see the ones that just end up trying to become swingers where, you know, they let the other partner do whatever because we're trying to please each other when really inside you, this is not what you want. And then you end up breaking up anyways.
Yes. It's if you're a person that's traditional, I think you are, it's almost impossible.
It's impossible.
And it's heartbreaking on both sides. So your heart's hurt sometimes. And, you know, you got money, you got all the sexy girls. I mean, you know, and if she was in your position
right.
and you were at home, right? I mean, imagine what would go through your head.
Right, of course.
You know, it's not healthy.
People have asked me that before, that same question, and I've told them just like this. I wouldn't date him.
No.
I would have never dated. If I'm going to tell a stripper, meet her in the club, meet her at her job, I see what she does, meet her, and then tell her, I want to date you. I don't care what you do. I'll never try to just interfere with your work, blah, blah, blah. I just want to be with you. I tell a stripper that. Then 2 years down the line, you're down the line, I'm going psychotic, crazy, you're this, blah, 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 and I'm using that against you. That's not
bullshit.
That's bullshit. I accepted from beginning knowingly. Not knowingly is different. Like somebody tricks you into a relationship, you fall in love, and then you find out, hey, this motherfucker's a porn star. That's some whole different shit. But if you meet a person doing whatever their job is, and it's somewhere in the sex business or, I mean, even regular movies nowadays, how many people on these regular movies, they end up doing a love scene on some movie and they end up fucking each other and they're together and the girl's leaving her guy who also a famous star, you know.
You talking about Bradley Cooper and Gaga?
Yeah, it's like it happens so often.
Yeah.
Because there's sexual tensions on these sets. People get together and you're like, wait a second, that looks very real. It looks very real, like you give a fuck, and you know, and people make connections on sets. So I can understand where people come from, but I just don't think it's right. If you don't think you really can handle it, just say no.
Yeah, but you don't know.
No,
yeah, that's what you
don't want to.
You don't know. You don't know. No. Listen, it's the power of the heart. The heart and the brain are two different things, right? And the heart, actually, people believe, has its own entity, right? They believe it has something more to it.
Something different to it.
You know, like emotions, like it control emotions. So it really has something.
Right.
Your heart can break because you can die.
Yeah, many people have died this way because they lose a loved one or whatever.
Heartbreaking. The elephants can die.
Right.
Because of the heart, whatever, right? So it's not really the brain. So you can't control your heart.
Yeah.
And some people think that they can, but especially even if they're younger, they've never experienced it. Mm-hmm. How could they? That's the one thing. Yeah. In her defense, which I'm not a defender of that, you know what I mean?
No, but it's the truth. It's the truth. And I think that's one of those things where you just have to decide, is it worth everything else, you know? Is it worth all the things that's going to come along with it? TT? Hell no.
No, because at the end, you know what happens? I've been there, done that. They're still going to be mad at you, and still going to be some bullshit, and it's still the same people generally. So if you're a player and you like to hit it, you know, like Big Pun said, I just play a lot, right?
Man,
you got to.
What you like to do?
You got to try to do it. You know why? Because it's only your life.
Yeah.
Don't hurt anybody, but you know, you got to live your life.
It's only your life. It's not hers or his or whoever's. It's only yours, and you need to live that the right way, without the stress or making somebody's other life stressful, you know?
And then you get old quick. Believe it.
Around the corner. Around the corner. A year from 40.
Yeah, really?
A year from 40. And this, man, I feel like, where the hell has time gone?
Yeah, wait till you get to 50. You know, just a flash. I
never thought I would be this old. Growing up, I've never thought like, oh, I would be this age. I could never imagine. You know how it is. Living in California is a hard life to be thinking that You know, people die at such a young age here that it's hard to see that. You know.
Yeah. So, what award organizations do you like the best? The AVN, XRCO, or XBiz? And why do you like them? And how many awards have you won?
So, for me, I've never really been big on the award ceremony things because they seem so fake to me. And it's nothing against any of them. Even if you were the best performer, it means nothing in this industry. It means nothing.
No. Let me give you an example what makes your statement truthful.
Right.
Okay? And I'm not a baby, you know what I mean? But in 1994, that year, 1993, let's say, because it's the 94 awards, I had stunted for a certain performer who I won't say his name, maybe 10 to 15 times, you know.
Yeah.
And he went up there and was awarded the Performer of the Year.
Of course.
Right? And he looked right at me. He knew that he was guilty as hell because, you know, the people at ABN weren't paying attention to who really was going on, A. B, maybe 2 years later, an actor did 10 movies in America, and he was awarded Performer of the Year.
Right.
And I did 350 movies.
Yeah.
Right? And you say to yourself, what's going on here? Right? And so, yeah, I believe what you're saying.
Every bit of it. Every bit of it. I could murder and kill everything moving.
It gets you pissed off?
It gets me pissed off.
Yeah.
It gets me pissed off. One thing that does, the award show does, it only gets me pissed off. The scenes they pick to be the top scenes in some of these, the people that they're picking to win these awards.
Strange.
How much ass do I need to kiss to be in the round? I never really could do it. You know, 2 years I was up for Performer of the Year, for Male Performer of the Year. And for 2 years it went to the same guy. 2 years. That had already had it before then too. And is older and, you know, Evans, you know.
Yeah, well, there are, I don't care. I don't want to put anybody down. But anyways.
Yeah, I'm not going to put anybody down.
But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, not saying that, you know, people don't do their jobs well.
Uh-huh.
But there was a time, and those times I'm talking about, do I believe any of these performers were touching me? No. None of those same performers could have done any of the scenes that we were doing at Evasive Angles. None of them. None of them could have kept a heart on them. There's not even half the product that's on the market today was on the market then.
And the quality that we were doing.
And the quality that we were doing it.
Please.
None of these performers at that point ever could have done it. Ever. And then I'm a 170-pound, 6'3" guy, fucking everything moving. And you give it to a guy that's done, 10 features for you guys or for this company that's bought so many magazines or, you know, pages on the magazine. So you give them so many amount of awards you're going to give out to this company. And for me, that stuff's always just irritated me because it never really lets people know, like, the respect and the gratefulness that we are for the hard work you've done. You know, you're not really showing them that when you should be.
I was awarded a ton of awards, but I was never political.
Yeah.
And how many would I have won if I was political?
Right.
But anyways, I agree with you. It's a lot of bullshit. There was a couple organizations one that put it right. A lot of times XRCO and Fox had it correctly too. Sometimes they had it correct back in the earlier days. But we understood, we got that point. So what's the wildest sex encounter you've ever had? On the set.
On the set?
But not during shooting. Offset. But on set. You understand what I mean?
Yeah. Offset, but on set.
You know, sneaking around
and fucking
the beautiful bathrooms or back rooms.
I'm trying to think of which one would have been the best.
Because you had a lot of fun in the back rooms.
I've had a lot of fun behind closed doors.
It's a dream, right?
Our open backyards.
Yeah. Sneaking around the back side, anywhere.
Side. I mean,
for a 5-minute quickie.
Fuck it. I can honestly say I think one of the orgies Brown and Round probably was, because like before the scene even starts and all these girls are just in bathing suits and getting dressed and getting oiled up, and you're like, cool, you're in the bathroom by yourself right now, huh? Okay, cool. And then you just go behind her and close the door and, you know, stick it in for a few, and those were the good times.
I think Brown and Round was my favorite orgy because I loved all those girls the most.
Those were the best.
You know, for me, I liked those girls. But it was the hardest one to shoot because you have had different gang members. You're a Crip and you see somebody with CK on his arm.
Right.
What do you like? You're like, who? You know,
a problem.
You got
like
one of my people.
Like you're trying to like.
And then you got the girls. You got girls that are banging, and you got girls that are going to college, and you girls that are just punks. Right. Right. And it's all like
all on the same set.
So it's all like some crazy, wild organization of different, you know, tribes almost.
That you're trying to get to be on the same accord and
to work and
be on the same like wave path at the same time to do good. You know what I mean? Because trying to do an orgy is like, you know, it's like one of those things where what you're trying to do is really get everybody like moving and going at the same speed and the same motion and the same, you know, being intuitions to be into it like you're supposed to be, you know, like infatuated with whoever's in front of you, whether you like this guy or not, or whether this is the guy you want to fuck right now or not. You're still treating him like, you know, he was the guy you came for today, you know. And so
to keep everybody energized and at the same harmony for all those hours from all these different hoods, and some girls that are just totally schoolgirls that they aren't even part of anything, is a trip, right? Did you see that? Did you recognize that?
It was a lot. One of the girls back then, I took her to the hood. So she's hanging out with me and my cousin and some of the homies from the hood. I end up just like coming around in the back of my friend's truck and just started fucking her on the outside.
That was beautiful, right? Tell me how beautiful is it to take all those pretty girls home?
Oh, it was so beautiful, right? And so we had to take her and this other girl. We were all going to go to this little bar or whatever and hang out. Her and this other girl weren't getting along. And so I'm in the back seat between her and the other girl. One of them starts stroking my dick. This wasn't the one I fucked behind the thing. So the other one starts looking at me like, I'm like, man, and I put her hand on my dick too, like stroke it together. So they both start stroking it. And then she like rips her hand off of my dick. And I'm like, and then the other one gets mad and they just reach over me in the backseat of my cousin's car going down Crenshaw while we're driving and start fighting right in the backseat. Boom, 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 boom. I'm like, pull over in the liquor store, pull over. Man, open the door and they just going at it in the parking lot. Boom, boom, boom. Cops pull up and all of this shit. They shot for you and everything. I can't remember the girl's name. I think it was Chocolate or something. Her name was nice big bubble chocolate butt, and then some other girl.
Oh, that's a trip, huh?
It was crazy.
That's pretty funny.
I was like, man, this is what happens. This is what happens that's when cool. The ones from the fuck yeah.
I mean, it makes you feel good. They're fighting over two girls fighting over your dick.
Right. It was pretty fucking
literally, funny. Not just.
And still, I fucked them both. And still fucked them both. It was crazy though.
So, how many years now have you been performing? And have you seen a change from when you first started? Is it for the better or for the worse? You kind of touched on it a little bit.
Yeah. So 17 years now I've been shooting, and I would say that it has made every change possible to where it's hard to recognize porn anymore. Every change possible. It's taken so much away from the good things about porn that we loved so much has been taken out of it because of probably the internet, you know, mainly the internet. You know, even though the internet's given us so much to where, yeah, you can make side money and hustle and actually still get incomes and this and that, it's also taken away from the actual part of the porn, you know, the love of it, you know, the girl showing up to the scene and really wanting to have sex and fuck today. Now it's more like, oh, it's really just a job to show up and, you know, whatever, I'll give my 10% today, and then, you know, depending, I'm working for Black tomorrow, okay, I'll give them 80%, but your scene, I'll give you only 10. That's where we're at, you know what I mean?
But do you think, Charlie, that it's possible that the psychology of sex has changed so much over the last 10 years, basically, I think. Like, you know, the Me Too action and men are bad and fuck man and lesbians, girls like girls. Do you think that has affected the real love of sex between man and woman?
For sure. I don't, because I don't want to feel like I'm disrespecting anybody as far as, you know, the gay pride side. It's great. For those people who want to be gay and all that.
I'm not disrespecting anybody.
Yeah, I don't want to give an answer where I feel, but I do feel like some things were just supposed to be kept not open. You know what I mean? Because once you open the box, there's no telling what comes out or what's you're gonna start getting, you know. You open the box, you open Pandora's box now, and now we're into a place where, you know, there's so much fakeness in sex. There's so much fakeness going around in this sex, and, you know, you really don't know who you're doing or what the person in front of you really likes. And if you date this person, you know, they might be dating you to fuck you for this, and you don't know what they're doing when they leave, and they just, you know, they're using you for this part of this. They're using you for, then they're using this girl for this part of what they want. You know what I mean? It's almost like
dirty.
Like a dirty using thing now instead of really the love and the sex.
It was more organic before.
More organic,
people,
more real.
Like that girl, she likes me. I love when the girls like guys and the guys like girls. You know, I'm old fashioned.
Right.
I don't judge anybody. I'm not against anybody.
I don't either.
Right? But when the girls liked you, really liked you.
Right.
You know, I'm older, I'm not as pretty, but when they liked you, you know, it was just made you feel great. And it just was a harmonic.
It brings a chemistry together that's like, oh.
Yeah, everybody's happy.
Everybody's happy.
And so you think that's kind of gone?
I definitely think that's gone.
In general, across the board. Not porn, just period.
In general, in the whole world.
Yeah.
It's become so easy for people to be married, divorced, or be fucking with each other and separate, and now she's getting her vagina ate by a girl or a girl that, you know, is acting like a guy. And so it's like, maybe have we gone too far? Maybe have we gone too far? Sometimes I really do think it. Have we gone too far to where we've ruined sex?
Yeah. Well, you think that...
Like sex is really just sex. It's not anything more than that.
Yeah, but like, you know, the rules were made before us. We're just following the rules we were taught, right? But now a new set of rules is being made, right? It's like a big, big change of rules.
Huge.
For me, I think it's just to stop population. Right. But who the hell am I, right?
I believe that's number one rule of it. Populations, you know, the more that people are like that, the more control.
Will stop babies or stop them to be born.
Right, of course.
Did you know that the facts are that 1980 had more births than we're having this right now in this present time?
I didn't know that, but I can believe it.
And there's way more people here now than there was before. Probably 50 or 70 million more, I think. Mm-hmm. Anyways, I don't want to dwell on that point, but let's go here. What is the best excuse you've ever heard a girl run on a director or a producer for a no-show or not wanting to work?
Oh, fuck. Which one is it? Oh, I just started my period, and then she's on another set.
Uh-huh.
You know? Like, really? So, you know, that's the other thing. Information gets around so quickly in our industry.
Today.
Oh, it gets around so quickly. But, no, his dick's too big. And then her next scene is with the biggest dick on the planet. You know what I mean? I'm not feeling well, I'm sick. And then, you know, now they're on Instagram showing them drinking a margarita on the beach somewhere with, you know, whoever.
Like, you see this? Scandalous.
Just scandalous stuff, man. And my thing is that everybody's not a hustler. I understand everybody's not a hustler. I am a hustler. I go get it. Just like no. It's not don't go get it. It's go get it. So I travel. I do all of that to go get the money. That's just what it is. And everybody's not like that. In this industry, everybody's not like that. Everybody comes up with excuses why not to work.
Yeah, I see population not wanting to work as hard as my time. And my time was before your time.
And not even a little bit.
But
They're not even close to that time.
We want to hear a funny story? I read Jesse James' book, right? Mm-hmm. And people think Jesse James didn't die. It wasn't shot in the back. You think he faked it because he's pretty smart. Mm-hmm. So then this book might have been written by him, by the way of his mother and wife. Mm-hmm. He said, man, my people, they got killed in the Northfield, Minnesota bank robbery. Mm-hmm. Right? He said, these new guys, they suck. They got any heart. They just want to get a name. Is that a trip? Because now it's like...
That's what it's all about.
But that was like 40 years ago. Because his boys were part of the Civil War and they were all guerrillas.
They seen the same thing.
But like they saw the same thing. So every generation... So how strong were those people before that? It'd be a trip to go back in time. But
I think that's probably where people have no idea that when they say nothing's new under the sun.
Yeah. Hey, so do you see porno as the best job you've ever had or one of the best?
No, it's the best job.
Best job?
Best job ever.
Listen to this, okay? I watched this interview from an actor who I know personally has so much love and, what do you want to call it? He had so much love in the business and so much they loved him. They gave him so much attention all the time, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. All the time. And he could do no wrong. And he a lot of times didn't show up to sets because he's out playing around, partying. And then he gets online. He had 30-something years of just love. So he gets old and not too pretty anymore. And he goes on and says, porno's ruined my life.
I mean, people got excuses for everything, okay? If you choose to do something, that thing that you chose didn't ruin your life. You ruined it. It would still be you in the end. It wouldn't be whatever your job was or any of that. It would be you. You made the decision to do it.
So you think it's a little chicken shit? I mean, this actor, Charlie, was spoiled. Could act good, very good actor, good-looking guy. Spoiled as spoiled gets. I witnessed it firsthand for years and years. And he would make the directors crazy. He wouldn't show up because he'd be partying one night or all night or whatever all the time. But how do you get online and post a video and cry pretty much, say porno ruined my life after you've had 30 years of nothing but love?
Because you're weak and you want to, make people feel, it's already bad enough. They have already bad enough things that they try to say about porn, even before he says something. And he's just another one it's almost like that Me Too, Me Too movement type thing, where it's like boo-hoo for you for having sex with all these beautiful women.
And getting
paid to do it.
Good money. Being at all the best parties in the 80s, in the 70s. No, he's from the
90s?
No, he's from the 80s, from the 86, probably 86, 87.
Yes.
To probably like 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, off and on, but spoiled. Spoiled as spoiled gets, believe me. All the best parts in all the best films and movies. Right. Anyways.
I think it's just
chicken shit.
It's chicken shit. It's a way, man, it would be easy to say that it's the best times of my life. If I can think of all my memories, porn's been a part of some of the best memories of all my life. Even when I'm gone and all that, it'll still be a part of some of the best memories of your life.
Yeah, I mean, I got almost 30 years, so it's for anybody to make as much money as you have, or he has, the actor, or I have, and then to criticize and ridicule the adult business is a sin.
It's easily a sin against us.
Terrible sin, and you shall be reprimanded. Do not disrespect mother porn.
Please don't.
So, do you remember any scenes that you thought were unbelievable?
Did I have any unbelievable scenes?
Just all the Evasive Angle ones, huh?
Just all the Evasive Angle ones. Most of the Brazilian stuff. All the beautiful fucking perfect butts and faces. I mean, these women were just like...
I line them all up a lot.
Line them up. I mean, a lineup. Like walking into a lineup of women that are like 9, 10s, and 11s and 12s. Like bitches you'll never ever see again in life. That look cool. This pretty. Look this gorgeous. Great vaginas, fat ass butts, and... Never again.
No, so many shape sizes, so many flavors.
Flavors and...
I mean, who gets that much love? Where?
Nobody.
I mean,
nobody.
Really? The rappers don't get that much love? They don't get that much
fucking love. And the rapper thing is the problem. See, rappers get used. You get used because of your money. All of before you made it, you were just in your hood and in your area, and girls were not giving you fucking vagina. Girls weren't just coming up to you, walking up to you, and you were already trying to rap and all of that, but you were underground, nobody knows you. As soon as you blow up, now girls can just hand you pussy. Well, they're using you for something. They're using you for your fame. They're using you for your fame. They're using you for your money when they give you pussy. When girls use me and other guys in the porn industry, they're using me for my fucking sex.
Uh-huh. So that's okay, though.
She's calling me to come and put it down on something that she feels a regular guy can't do.
Yeah.
He's not accomplishing his goal that he's supposed to be accomplishing, so I'm calling you. That's why I'm calling you. Uh-huh. I would much rather be used that way than be being used because you see me on TV and for fame. I would much rather be used for being able to make you come really, really good and orgasm really, really good than for you to be fucking me only because I'm on TV and I have some money. You think I have some money. Because a lot of the rappers at first, they don't. You know, it's an imaginary thing. You act like you have money. You know, that's the whole point. I think rappers get it the easiest as far as when girls be giving up vagina and like, oh, he's made it and this is it. And then you're like giving him vagina and he's looking at you like, if you only knew, like, I got bills like everybody else. I haven't made it yet. Like, I'm on TV, but I'm not rich yet. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Musicians it's not
targets.
They're targets, and they're not like immediately rich just because you see them on TV or because you see them with some diamond chain on.
Yeah.
Their company might have bought that.
They just got the bag written on the girls. The girl sees a bag on their face, right? That's the new mentality, right? Grab the bag.
Grab the bag. Yeah. You know, and then this hot girl summer, you know what I mean? And, you know, and then we're doing all this for this, you know, and you better pay me, you know what I mean?
Horrible, right? That organicness is over.
It's gone. It's over.
It's sad because if you're a celebrity, use the celebrity for the fun of it, not for the money of it. But, you know, hey, man, who knows the secrets of everything?
I mean, but if you look, it's so bad now to where girls that have regular jobs that are nurses and dentistry and this and that, they're literally all having OnlyFans. OnlyFans? What do you mean? Yeah, like doing, you know, masturbation things and just to make money and stuff.
Oh, that's a site, right?
Yeah, like the girls everywhere, you know, are doing this now. And they don't have boyfriends and, you know, no husbands, no boyfriends. So they're just trying to make side money. So when you try to talk to these girls in a regular life, it's almost like they feel like, oh, I don't need sex or I don't need you. I don't need you. And this is a big thing now. It's like, I don't need you. I can do this on my own. I got this.
Yeah. Which entails population ends.
It entails that the two people that are supposed to be connecting are now no longer connecting. They're running from each other.
And what is the mutation of that? The mutation is the end of humanity.
It's the end of humanity because, I mean, people are going to turn away from the man and woman to other things that distracts them from a man and a woman being together, you know? And so that distraction is actually stopping the creation of man and woman.
Yeah, that's what I see.
You're pulling away so far that eventually, it might not be now, but 20 years from now, if men and women are less getting together and creating and organizing a family and a life or fucking and sex together, and you keep getting away and away and away, eventually it stops. Eventually there's no one that wants each other. And I mean, they're making dolls now so realistic that where you don't need to, you can...
We're going to talk about that too.
You can buy you a doll, and I mean, in a minute we're going to have robots.
There you go.
I mean...
Robots are almost here.
They're almost here. I'm actually one of those guys that I actually follow quite a few of the technology companies as far as the ones that are trying to create these robots and all this stuff right now. I don't feel our government allows movies and things to come out for no reason. It's almost like a disguise where you put it in a person's face earlier, and so later in time, it doesn't make them scurry or run or scared.
Yeah.
There's like, it's used to it. But if you really looked at life right now, you would see that we're so overly technology-wise advanced that we're some years away from really being in trouble to where somebody can hack or create a war between countries from weaponry, from robot. You have, what do you call it, these drones in the air now.
You heard about the drone attack?
The drone attack, yes.
For the oil fields?
For the oil field.
Now our oil is high. Was that on purpose?
Of course.
So we had to pay higher prices?
Of course.
Okay.
I mean, why would it not be on purpose?
Oh, it was a purpose for somebody, but was it
somebody
to get the prices high?
But it's always a purpose.
Did they do it inside?
We're going
False
to inflate. Right. It's always the same thing to me. 9/11 happens, okay? 9/11 happens. What do everybody do? The bus, the trains, the planes, what do they all do? They say, oh, 9/11, everybody's worried and scared. We're not going to lower prices. We're going to raise them. Oh, there's a drought in LA. Okay, water's not going to be cheaper for everybody so they can go, get water for their families. No, we're going to inflate it. We're going to raise it up. There's reasons to me for all of this stuff. Yeah, it's a control, kind of trying to let you know where you are and what you're worth. And we're ants to most of the government. You're an ant. We're a number. Farm. You're a number.
It's like all the dictators. They're just numbers.
They're just numbers.
But what is your rate today? And how many scenes a day are you doing?
Okay, so my rate today for regular boy girl is 800. Regular boy girl 800. Anal 1,000.
Really? You charge more?
I charge more.
You don't like it?
I don't like it. And then people ask me, why do you charge more for, I hate anal. I'm not an anal. I love vagina.
Me too.
I love the wetness, the smell. I don't like that my dick might go into asshole and come out with shit on it. I don't like, trying to go in an asshole. And it doesn't, even once you get in it, it doesn't feel like vagina. It doesn't feel, it's like,
I mean, once a great while, there might be one girl.
Right,
but that's one out of 500 or 1,000.
Right. It's very slim. And so for me, I love vagina. So anal scenes are 1,000. And then all this other stuff everybody tries to do, the double, this and DP, the price just goes up. Yeah, the price just goes up. And I hate all this stuff. If it's not vagina, I'm not I'm not happy.
Right, it's not fun.
Yeah, I'm not happy.
Yeah, at this point in time, you can do what you want.
At this point in time, I can definitely do more of what I want and what I like to do, and not I'm not chasing fame no more. All the companies I can work for, but I'm just not chasing fame. I don't need to shoot for the wrong reasons. I like to shoot the more gonzo stuff because I feel there's more porn feeling in it. When you're shooting such a feature or, all these scenes that everybody's trying to shoot, it's taking away from the porn feeling. So for a lot of them, I don't really like to shoot anymore. No. And I really have it narrowed down to 4 companies.
That you work for?
Where I consistently trying to be working for them so I don't have to be, shooting for some of the other people because I don't want to shoot that.
Yeah, I got
some of
you.
the other big companies that shoot like the 10 and 12, 14, 16-hour days all the time. And, you know, those is like, it's too much for me now. Now, at my age and my point in my life, it's too much for me to be having a full day I'm giving somebody for a scene that's literally only 30 minutes. And then it's a girl that's not even great sex. And it's like, oh.
So things have changed because before we would spend 8 hours for an orgy.
We would spend 8 hours for an orgy.
Yeah.
And it would be a realistic orgy. Now it's like 8 hours just for like fake orgy is what I call them.
Really?
I mean, to me, they're fake orgies. They're not like real, and it's not a real feeling. And it's like, you know, the guys aren't really kicking it or really cool like that, or the girl has been in her room and this room and that, and then you just meet up on scene and you're supposed to just create this beautiful chemistry together.
No love.
No love. No getting to know your employees, you know what I mean? You don't even know the people that you're about to shoot with, you know, or we're not shooting yet, why are you touching me? You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Love so that's a turnoff.
It's a turnoff immediately. So those kind of things, yeah, it's definitely driving porn downwards.
How many scenes a day do you do, average?
2. It's like when I'm out of the country, it's definitely 2 to 3, and then when I'm in the country, definitely 1 to 2 scenes a day.
So you do 3 scenes a day? You can do?
Yeah.
Wow,
now it's to a point where, as long as I have about 2 or 3 hours in between the scenes, I'll be okay.
Well,
but it's a lot.
It's hard. Yeah.
The third one's always probably the hardest if you don't have a good girl. If you have a girl that's fucking hot and horny and want to shoot, that third one is going to be like easy.
So you must be making good money now. You're stacking that money away?
Stacking the money away now. Wow. You have a girl now, you know, so once you have, that's the other thing, like things started to change easily to where you understand like nothing's guaranteed forever. Nothing's guaranteed.
Won't be here tomorrow.
You're not guaranteed tomorrow. You're not guaranteed the next moment or the next paycheck. You're not guaranteed those things. Put the shit away.
You gotta be careful.
And stay busy. Put it away and stay busy and shoot your own stuff or do this. Invest in something or be an inventor. Like that's my thing is, you know, trying to invent the right product, you know, that will help where you never have to stress over, you know, that kind of work where you have to work like that every day, you know what I mean? Giving your body up. Because our job is physical. That's what our job is. Porn star is a physical job. Work out, eat right, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you know, so you played basketball pretty competitive, right? So I'm curious about this. Mm-hmm. Would you say doing a sex scene is harder than playing a game? You know, a competition game, or is it harder being a basketball star? Take the Viagra away.
No, for any man pretty much on this planet. No Viagra doing a scene on our sets. 90% of all these guys fail. 90% cannot do this scene right now with no Viagra.
But is it harder playing a basketball game or harder being a performer?
Much harder being a performer with that. Without a doubt. Without a doubt, that's the hardest thing. Like basketball is one of those things where it's from a skill point. You know what I mean? You've been practicing every year this. Mm-hmm. With sex, you can have had sex every day off a set in hotel rooms with your girl doing this, fucking the shit out of her. Oh, boom, boom, boom. When you get to that set, some fucking whole other shit. All the other things and emotions come into play of how you're going to work on this set. The girl could come with an attitude. The girl could actually not like you or not even think you're cute. Your whole day might be ruined just because of that.
Hold on. How many times have you looked across the set, right, and seen a girl there and you said, how the hell can I get through this scene with this creature?
Right.
Or this
it's happened so many times. But I'm sick. I'm sick. I'm not gonna lie. Like ugly girls for some reason will turn me on.
No, I'm not saying ugly. I'm saying just
I mean,
somebody you don't want to work with.
Like somebody you might not want to work with. Something on them turns me on to where I'm like, yes, like, oh, can't wait to fuck the shit out of you and stick my dick down your throat. Like, you know, now it's way more easier to flip it than before.
Yeah, because you're in the mode.
Yeah.
You might be in your prime or...
Right. That's what I considered it. I consider this my prime. I'm almost there ready to, you know, I feel like I'm just at that point like LeBron. Like, I'm in that prime point. Matter of fact, LeBron and I started this pretty much at the same time. 2003, he started NBA and I started porn. I'm in my prime. This is my prime time. I'm looking to make all of the right little sets so that I'm set up for after porn. Some people want to do porn forever. That's great. Believe me, some people want to be Ron Jeremy forever. That's great for them.
What are you doing after porn?
My thing is a couple of inventions that I'm trying to push, you know, that I want to create because there's no wealthier person than probably an inventor that's been an inventor. Successful inventor.
Something that everybody can use.
Right. iPhone. iPod, you know, the light, facts. This, like, invent something that my family and my sons, my kids, my mom, that I can leave and that they can continue creating something even better and then pass it on and create something even better. That's my goal.
You know what the key to that is? One of them? Don't ever stop.
No.
Till you get what you want.
Yeah, you can fail at that all day. Just don't stop. Mm-hmm. And I have a perfect thing. I can't talk about it yet. I can't talk about it yet, but it's the perfect thing.
Don't talk about it at all.
Yeah, I love it, and I'm grateful that, you know, I've been given the vision for it. So that's my goal.
What kind of car are you rolling today?
My Challenger.
Challenger? Yeah.
That's my baby.
You got an engine in it?
It's got a little bit of engine.
Not the real engine?
No, not the real engine.
You might hurt yourself.
No, I'm getting it on my birthday.
All right.
Mm-hmm, the Demon.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
All right.
I'm trading this one in and getting the Demon.
The Demon, how much horsepower does it have?
1,080.
No.
Yes.
Come on.
1,080.
Really?
1,080 horsepower.
Wow, are you sure?
Yep.
You're positive?
Positive. 1,080.
Because that was the red eye.
No. Yep, Demon.
Let's look it up. Because I thought that was like 700 horsepower, 750.
That's the what's the name?
I don't know. You sure about that? I don't want to have to call you out because you're my boy.
Well, make sure, because I'm pretty sure the Challenger.
Dodge Demon.
Dodge Demon.
Horsepower.
The SEMA. That's the one, actually. With the 1,000. The other one is 800. What would you say?
840.
840. Yeah, that's the other one.
Elephant engine producing 1,000 horsepower. You have it on order? Is it a special order or something? You have it on order or no?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Because you know what they do, right? They always charge a premium.
Right.
So you don't want to be caught in that premium.
You have
to wait till it's gone.
You don't want to be that person that goes and buys it. These came out at the beginning of the year. Oh, yeah? You don't want to be the person that goes and buys it when they come out.
That'd be a badass car. Please drive safe. Yeah. No, because you know those cars, the back end gets lost easy.
They get lost very easy. That's the only problem.
I just got back on Monday. I was at the AMG Racing Academy over there in Laguna Seca.
How was that?
It was crazy. You should definitely try that. Go there before you go get a crazy car. But the Mercedes these cars are 4-wheel drive. Right. And, you know, they really stick. I have a 605 horsepower E63, and that thing sticks. Still. That thing is beautiful. It's going to be bad, but be careful losing the back. You know, that's what happened to the comedian. Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, be careful.
But it wasn't him that did it. But you know, and that's the other thing is letting somebody else drive your car that doesn't know the horse and don't know the. That's not always a good thing either. 1,000 horsepower is beautiful. I love it, but just be careful. Yeah, I mean, I doubt if I would ever use that 1,000 horsepower. Oh, you'll use it. I would. Don't even think you're not. Wait a Vegas. Wow. It'll be beautiful. I love it. I want to see it when you get it. Oh, for sure. All right. That's my baby right now. That's
I love cars.
There was two cars that I've always been chasing, and it's the Challenger. I always loved old school muscle cars. I was a Dukes of Hazzard kid.
Charger 68 or whatever it was.
Yeah, I was a Dukes
I love that
kid.
car.
Oh fuck yeah! And so I love muscle cars, and then I love the R8, Audi R8. That's probably
RS8. That's the one
that's my baby.
Mm-hmm.
That's
nice.
That's the one I want to where I can go cruise. The coast of California. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Oh no! Oh, you're talking about the racing one. Excuse me. Yeah.
The R8. Yeah.
Right, and the R10. Don't they have a 10 or it's a 10 cylinder? Right.
10 cylinder.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are radical. I love. They're beautiful.
Those are fucking beautiful. I feel like they're the perfect length size to where they're not too small and squished up, but they're not too long.
Yeah, they're nice.
They're nice, and then I love how low they sit to keep control of your car.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
But you gotta stack that money so you can't buy it.
Yeah, no, that's not now.
When you finish the invention.
That's eventually. That starts at like $200,000.
Yeah. Oh, you can buy it. No, the truth is you can snatch those up for about 100.
I'm sure.
Used, you know what I mean?
Yeah, used 20,000, 15,000 miles.
Yeah, probably like 7,000, 8,000. Yeah. But you don't want to get caught on the out-the-door tax, which is, you probably save, you save so much money,
Easily 20,000, 30,000 on that car.
Probably say 50,000, 60,000 really. Probably maybe even more. For the same car.
Yeah, for the same car.
Just because it's going to smell, the leather's still going to be new. So what advice would you give to the upcoming performers that want to be big porn stars like you?
Now, my advice would be to fit in until it's your time. Fit in. I know everybody wants to, be a legend or the greatest or this, but it takes time. It's not like people walk in the door and just that's it. It's not like that. Understand that it all takes time, and your time, if it's meant, it will also come. It will also come. Work hard.
Love your job.
Love your job. Do it for the right reason. And when it's your time, it will come. You're not going to have to try to be somebody else or be Charlie Mack or be Prince or be TTBoy or be... Yeah. No. You won't have to try to be them. You'll be you, and you was going to be great where people recognize it. And that's what makes it legend. That's what makes it... that there's nobody else like you. That's what makes it so great.
What do the fans say to you when they recognize you in the street?
Oh my gosh.
Let's say the dudes, right?
The dudes. Oh, that's my motherfucking thing. Oh shit! They go crazy. Oh, can I get a photo? Of course, Or, oh, can you take a picture with me and my wife? Just grab her ass. That's probably one of the...
Really?
All
That's
the time.
great.
Like taking photos, grabbing this guy's wife's ass. And
that's crazy.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
So you got a lot of love in the streets?
A lot of love. Like,
that's cool.
Never disrespectful. It's always love. And I'm one of those people where I don't feel like, oh, I got to be a dick and I'm not going to let you take a picture. Or, where you let the fame take over you. So I'm not one of those guys. And as long as I'm not like with my girl eating, I'll do it. I'm usually the guy that, no problem, you know what I mean? But if I'm with my girl eating, please, if you see me eating with my girl, just be like, hey, I'm going to wait until afterwards and come up to him. Because she's just one of those people where she's tired of, like, all the love from your dick going in vagina. You know what I mean? It's probably a little bit of jealousy of that's the attention you're getting it for, and you're the man, and you done fuck this girl. So if I'm eating with her, just let me finish eating, and then I'll definitely do that.
Well, you got a lot of love.
For sure.
You like it?
Yeah, but I'm not big on attention, so it's hard for me. Because I don't like, I like to be the
quiet.
guy. I like to be quiet, be subtle, and you don't even know I'm in the room. Yeah. I'm that guy.
The art of war.
The art of war.
But embrace the beauty because it goes away.
It does.
Yeah. How would you sum up all your experiences in the business in 2 words?
2 words. Let Let me think. Okay, so in 2 words, all my experiences in this business, I can say greatest time. It's the greatest time. It's been the greatest time of probably my life. I'm a guy from the same hood areas as everybody else that never probably would even thought about going to different cities and states, let alone in and out of different countries, traveling and seeing the world. I mean, meeting people from all over, friends from all over now. It's been the greatest times of my life in doing porn, without a doubt.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
I agree.
Greatest times.
For me too.
For sure.
Before you met me, did you hear any stories about TTBoy?
No. I never heard any stories. I've watched all your stuff before, and I never heard any stories. But people weren't brave either then, you know?
No.
People weren't brave then. They wouldn't say stories and then thinking that, oh, he might find out. You know what I mean? It's one of those things.
Oh, yeah. They were scared, maybe?
I mean, of course. Like, there's some people that are, you know, say shit and, I'll do this and do that. But TTBoy would actually go do it. You know what I mean? Like, you'll get shown up on, or, you know, or even if, you know, show up and he runs into you there, you know? You know? He'll actually do what he says he's going to do. So a lot of people, I think, in this industry, especially then, we're not really ready for a person that really is going to do what they say they're going to do. You know, it's a lot of people that talk, or talk behind people's backs over here and over there, and they don't do shit. But now I just keep to myself anyways.
But you heard before that TTBoy was a good actor, a good performer?
Well, I had known that.
Oh, okay, because you watched.
I mean, I watched all of this shit.
What do you think about Tekashi 69 snitching? And how can he hide in the wonderful world of social media?
Okay, so I'm going to give my thoughts to all the people, because I've said my thoughts about this online, okay? And I'm sticking with it, and I feel the same one. Tekashi 69 was always a snitch. It's not new to me. I think that he's exactly what he was from the beginning, but you signed him, or not even signed him, you worked with him. I think people thought that they were going to be able to use him for whatever their needs were to get what they wanted. Now, I don't condone snitching and bitch-assness of no kind, so it's not like I'm telling you I condone him snitching. But what I also don't condone is ignorance of allowing somebody to get that close to you, to know your ins and outs, to know what you robbed or done. This is the dumbest thing that you can do if you were a gangster, is to let somebody that you know is not really a part of a crew, has not ever done real dirt with you and is really about the business, to ever be close enough to where they would know shit that you've done, or can have a conversation about shit that they should never know about. It should have just been kept as business. If you were going to protect him as far as like acting like, oh, he's with the blood crew or he's rolling with the blood crew, it should have been from a business side where he's not one of us. He's not a really gang member, but, you know, we fucks with him, you know what I mean? But businessly wise. But for him to be like, if he's promoted as a blood, as a real G, as like he's going to ride around the corner, like some of his first videos are with guns and, you know, sit on the block. And so it's like, I'm not surprised at none of this fakeness. And if it's them, they shouldn't be surprised. And then when you try to kill him, you really think he's not going to snitch? You know what I mean? You done tried to kill somebody who was scared already before. You done kidnapped him before. And I mean, of course he was going to snitch. He always was going to snitch. He was always going to tell. But like in my hood, it's the same way. There's no new niggas on my block. There's no new people that come on the block and hang out on the block and that people are going to trust and have you around all of this shit or the drugs or the dope. It don't happen. That's how a mafia goes down. You allow somebody that's willing to, you know, protect themselves only into the thing, and then he's ready to snitch on the whole world.
Only Donnie Brasco.
You know.
Right. But anyway, so
I just think it's Tekashi's fault for being a snitch ass, but it's really the person that's giving them the opportunity to be able to snitch that's also at fault.
So they fucked up.
They fucked up. You allowed hey, he kick it with us on these video shoots. All right, we see you later. Like, that should have been it. It should have been like, no, you're not hanging out with us. You're not riding to the airport with us. You know, you're not going over here with us. And no. Video shoots, studio time. We got your back. We protecting you in the studio. We protecting you on the street. If you go somewhere, if you have a problem. But you're not rolling with us when we doing criminal acts. That would make no sense. And I grew up in a time where my brother taught me very well. You do your dirt by your lonesome. Nobody should know what you do. Nobody should know you robbed a bank or did that. If people know that's you're next to, well, then you automatically create a way to get snitched on.
Well, you gotta have the balls to do the dirt.
Have the balls to do the dirt yourself.
Have you heard about the cop in Alabama who was caught planting drugs in everybody's car?
Oh yeah, I seen that guy. For a while, it wasn't like it was for a while. He had been getting away with this.
What the hell is that about? What do you think about that?
That's a problem, and the fact that they're still not going to figure out all of the people that's still doing the same thing. You just caught one of them, and what's going to really happen to him?
Yeah.
What is really going to happen to him in Alabama? They're not going to do shit to him in Alabama.
No.
Fuck. I don't know if anybody's ever been. You don't want to go to jail in Alabama. You're not getting out. I have a cousin that's been locked in there forever, right now, still to this day, from crossing through Alabama and doing something. He hasn't been out yet. And last time I had seen him, I was probably, 12? And it was for some drugs. Never get out. For drugs. The same drugs that they're stealing and selling and put right back out on the streets. He's in jail for over 30 years now of that time. And it's like, dude, don't get arrested in Alabama, Mississippi. Those are just places you don't want to get arrested in, ever. Never.
Dirty, huh?
They're just so many
Dirty South.
It's like the dirty South because it's so family oriented, connected in that.
Clan.
It's like a clan. And they control courts and judges and everything, you know?
Yeah,
and
scary.
LA's like that too. LA's just as bad, where these police
they plan stuff?
They plant stuff and they lie about stuff. Like, my time was on lies. You know, the cop tried to say he seen my gun. He never seen my gun because I had a big over jacket sweater covering over my pants. Like, he never seen anything. Just one of those things where you seen a black dude that you wanted to stop. And once you searched me, he even literally searched me. He felt on my gun. Once he felt my gun and searching me illegally, then he was like, oh, sir, do you have any weapons or anything that we should be worried about? You already searched me. Why are you asking me that now? You just literally went and felt my pocket and felt like, you know, you could feel on the gun. He felt on it and everything, felt the handle. And then he asked me because he knew he was illegally doing it. And that's partial why I'm sure the DA, dropped some of my charges because they could never figure out, well, why did you stop him? What was the real reason you stopped him? Because you couldn't see the gun, so what was the reason that you stopped him? And that was why the DA probably gave me a deal of the 6 months. Because at first they were pushing no less than 2 to 3 years. I'm like, I'm not going to jail for 2 or 3 years. We're going to trial for sure. I'm definitely going to have some other people trying to, give my life back before I'm sitting here letting you tell me 2 or 3 years in Los Angeles prisons. Mm-mm.
So, yeah, it's pretty sad, though, because it looked like a lot of innocent people on that Instagram, right? Just like, what the hell? I didn't have anything, so it's just crazy shit.
Trying to talk them into some bullshit, to saying it themselves almost, that they had something.
One more thing I ask you. Mm-hmm. I need to get people on here. Call Rico. Get him on the phone, see if he'll come down here. You're tight with Rico?
Yeah. He's mad at me.
Is he?
Yeah, because I left him on set. He wanted me to give him a ride down to the train, but I told him I was already running late for you, and I had to get on, and he was still butt-ass naked. And I'm like, dude, I told you I had to go, and you still sitting here naked talking, so that's not gonna work. I can't wait for you another 5-10 minutes. So we'll see.
Has the phone. No, you tell him. Come on down.
What's up, ugly guy?
What's up, ugly cuz? So, well, I was calling you because I'm over here with TT on his podcast, and he said that he needs to get you down here.
TT wants me to do what?
His podcast.
Okay.
What's up, Puerto Rico? What's up, man?
Hey, man, fuck you, Scarface.
What's up, Holmes?
I have to go do this scene, so I'm gonna pass your number to him so you can come and get a podcast in with him.
Okay, get TT my number, nigga. That ain't no problem.
All right.
All right, I'll hit you up, man.
All right, bro.
All right, be good.
What?
All right, so we're gonna get Rico next.
Yep.
But Charlie Mack,
Thank you, sir.
it's great
Always
to
a
see
pleasure,
you. You know,
for sure.
I'm glad you're doing well. Glad you're making
I am.
money. Glad you're healthy.
Because of you.
Because of me.
Because of your work, man. Please. You can't become the greatest without practice. And nobody's gave me more practice than TT. Not
Thanks,
even
man.
close.
Thanks for the
Thank
prop.
you, sir.
We out. Till next time. Charlie Mack, Pussy Assassin.